Hello there everyone, it's your boy B3, back with another kicking graphic novel review. We're going to take a bit of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Break today so that we can talk about Batman Reptilian from 2021. This is a DC Black Label book, meaning it is not in continuity. The Black Label was originally supposed to be like mature, adult, like rated R books, and then they showed Batman's penis, and now it's just, they got memed into oblivion, basically. And now it's basically just another ELSEWORLDS label. But the books are still usually pretty graphic and mature. This one is, but they slapped All-Star Superman into the Black Label retroactively, which is odd because I'd say that's a pretty family-safe book. Anyway, let me read you the back of the book. What strikes fear into the hearts of those who terrorize Gotham? It used to be Batman, but something far more frightening than a mere man stalks the shadows. And it's after Gotham's villains, leaving a trail of carnage through the underworld. Now with Riddler, Penguin, Two-Face, and many, many more left bloodied and broken in its wake, Batman opens the case on this mysterious menace and finds himself vexed by one very important question. Just what on earth is this reptilian monster that stalks the shadows of Gotham? To answer this question, Batman hits the streets in search of this terrible creature, and he hits them hard. And when his investigation leads him to Killer Croc, the world's greatest detective finds himself mirrored in the world's strangest case. How savage must a monster be to haunt the dreams of monsters? Experience this gritty, savage, and bizarre tale by comic legends Garth Ennis and Liam Sharp to find out. Collects Batman Reptilian 1-6. Also, I have to say, I really like that line on the back of the book. How savage must a monster be to haunt the dreams of monsters? That's cool. So, Batman Reptilian. There's a lot that I like about this book, but there's really one big thing that keeps me from loving it. At the beginning, Batman has balls. Just balls. But that quickly kind of devolves into Batman being a bully. This is a Batman seemingly without empathy. He will save the lives of his villains, but it's more of like saving their life is like a bargaining chip. Not saving their life is a threat because of how he treats them. This is a Batman with no empathy. A Batman that does not care about rehabilitation. This is a vengeful Batman. This is all-star Batman and Robin, the Boy Wonder level bully Batman. And it's not fun to read. He's just a Batman who is a jerk, who does not feel like a hero in the least. You just can't get behind him. But there was this meeting where a bunch of his supervillains got together. The Joker, Scarecrow, Clayface, Man-Bat. Seems like the Phantasm is there, which is pretty cool. Killer Croc, Two-Face, Poison Ivy, blah blah blah, Penguin, Riddler, etc. And out of nowhere, they got into this super heated argument, and then the argument just ended. Like they don't know what caused it. Like there's some kind of monster running around, basically gutting the supervillains that were at this meeting. Just gutting them, and Batman is typically able to save them after the fact because it doesn't eat them or anything. It just kind of mutilates them, gets bored, and leaves. Like it's looking for something else. It's not looking for food. It could find humans to eat on any street corner, you know? Batman even has to save the Joker from this horrible unseen monster. But eventually he finds Killer Croc in the sewers. And Killer Croc looks like he is on the verge of death. His body mass, so much of it is gone. He's like a thin little frame. And there's this huge egg sac. If you've watched the Alien movies, you've probably seen the big, giant, like, egg sac that's sometimes attached to the alien queen. Yeah, Killer Croc is basically attached to that, and it's been ripped open. And a giant, monstrous reptile came out of it. And it turns out Killer Croc's origins aren't what we thought. They aren't what anyone thought, at least in this Elseworld story. Killer Croc, everyone thought, had, like, this skin mutation, blah, blah, blah. No. Something crashed in the swamps where he's from. Something polluted those swamps. And alien DNA got into the flora and fauna, including some humans. Most humans born with this alien DNA in their system died after birth, or even a little before. They miscarried or something. Croc was the only one healthy enough to survive. So his skin, his teeth, it's his bulk, it's not a random mutation. I guess in a way it is, but not a natural one. Alien DNA, reptilian alien DNA. And it's also apparently given him the ability to reproduce asexually. So, Killer Croc gives birth to this creature who's much more alien than him. It's all instinct, but it has human in it. It's the first of its kind. It doesn't have anyone to teach it anything. It thought Croc was its mother. It rejected him because he's not quite right. He doesn't look anything like it. This is like a big, giant Resident Evil kind of monster thing. So it's been going around to the meeting, trying to see if any of them are the mother, and attacking them in frustration when it doesn't get what it wants. And eventually it comes back full circle for Croc. So in the meeting, when tensions got high, Croc released this hormone that was a defense mechanism, and it would make potential predators fight each other instead of you, and then you can leave and get away with your baby. That's actually very interesting. That's a very interesting, like, theoretical defense mechanism. Really cool. But eventually it comes back to Croc, because this being is not only looking for a mother, it's looking for a mate. So since Killer Croc doesn't perform the mother function, it tries to get Croc to impregnate it. And when he won't do that, it gets angry and attacks Croc and Batman. Batman has to get Killer Croc out of there because Waylon is so weak from giving birth, and there's this big monster with these giant jaws and all these eyes and multiple arms and legs and giant wings. It's a horrific, horrific monster. Actually, it kind of reminds me a lot of the newborn from Alien Resurrection. I feel like there might be a lot of xenomorph influence in this story. I really do. Batman is, of course, eventually able to defeat this monster. But the thing is, he does it in a kind of cliche way. He does it in the whole get eaten on purpose, attack it from the inside kind of way. It's a little different than you usually see it, because Batman uses like a homing device on himself to bring the Batmobile under the monster, and then he can trigger it to explode, and then Batman cuts his way out of the corpse. And that still doesn't really totally do it. The monster is awake for just a short period longer, just long enough to watch it kill this low-level criminal that he has been torturing psychologically and kind of physically through the entire book. Eventually you feel bad for the thug, in all honesty. The government comes and takes not only the alien body, but Croc himself, and Batman just doesn't care that they're going to use Croc as a lab rat forever. This is a Batman that doesn't care. He really only saves lives because of his psychosis. This is not a Batman looking for justice. This is not a Batman looking to prevent people from becoming like him. This is a Batman who's still out looking for vengeance. And this story, I feel like, could have been really good if it was a more traditional Batman. Like, yes, it's an Elseworld, and that gives you a chance to experiment with different characterizations and new characterizations. This is not a new characterization as Batman. We have had this Batman before. Remember, Frank Miller has written Batman like this before, and it was awful. People hate All-Star Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder. They think it's one of the worst comics DC's ever put out. It wasn't even finished. That's true. So, why do this again? Why write Batman like that again? Yes, it was an interesting story. A unique kind of Batman story. With art that I honestly loved. This art kind of reminded me of, like, Jacques in Witches, or maybe Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on Serious Earth. It's that kind of surreal art, which really lends a lot of amazing visuals to this book. It makes it very interesting and scary. But the way Batman is written is just like, oh god, this Batman again? People just don't like Batman written as a bully. They just don't. At least not for the most part. I'm sure there are some fans. But in the back there is a variant cover gallery by Coley Hamner. And there's some pretty cool variants. Some are kind of whatever. These are like normal. But then there are some that are a bit more interesting. And the original series pitch is in there, which is a really cool thing you don't often see included in trades. I think they have to include a little more because there's only a few issues in here. But, yeah, and there's like initial concept art and stuff that looks really good. There's a lot about this book that is great. But the way Batman is written just really stops it from being a really dope, memorable book. I got this book very cheap, like Black Friday sale, kind of cheap. And I'm glad I did, because if I would have paid full price for this, I probably would have been disappointed. I paid for it at a huge discount. But yeah, the writing is not the best when it comes to Batman's characterization. But this book has a lot of good in it. And if you're looking for a unique Batman story, enjoy Bully Batman for some reason, or just want a comic with interesting, surrealist, dark, horrific art, this might be the book for you. I might even revisit it one day. Batman Reptilian from 2021 and DC's Black Label. So that is it. Thank you all very much for your support. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.